We are exploring the Robinson Manor.
This was run as a tuberculosis hospital. It also was a mental health ward.
Is there anybody here? I saw a shadow. Oh, REM pod. The basement of this location is really ominous.
The basement is notorious for not too nice characters.
I just heard footsteps.
Question of, is there somebody buried under the concrete in the basement?
Is there anybody down in this basement? I'm Connor Biddle. As a young boy, my family moved into a seemingly ordinary house. It held secrets beyond imagination. It was there that I first encountered the supernatural, an experience that would stay with me for a lifetime. From that moment on, my fascination with the paranormal was born. Over the years, I've dedicated myself to capturing the unexplained on camera. It's lighting up. Yeah. Awesome. Join me as I spend the night in places where the lines between our world and the unknown blur, aiming to document every chilling encounter. Do you want me to come back there?
Yes.
Oh my God. If you're ready, it's time to spend the night with me inside some of the most haunted locations across the country. Welcome to my paranormal encounters.
So we are in the Robinson Manor, which is the former John Robinson Hospital. It was built in 1909 by a local doctor. He named it after his son, and it was very much a community hospital. He lived very close to the property. Just off to the right-hand side of the building was his residence, and then off to the other side of the building was the nurses' dorm. So all of the employees really kind of lived and breathed this hospital and spent a great deal of their time here. He ran this hospital until the 1920s when he sold it to William Kopresh, who was a doctor from Chicago. And the feel of the hospital changed when he took over. So it wasn't the kind community hospital feel anymore. It was very much swindling little old ladies out of their money. There were reports of black cars showing up in the middle of the night and offloading suspicious looking people or packages. And they attribute that to his knowledge and kind of interaction with Al Capone. There was a lot of mob activity that went on here. We don't have a whole lot of documentation as far as what happened based on some of the artifacts that we found and some of the history handed down through the community here, that there was moonshine, some other types of illegal activities, and then in the very upper part of the hospital, there were some private rooms, and we figured that that's where Al Capone's men would go. If they were injured or shot or something, they would have their own little private recovery. This was run as a tuberculosis hospital. It also was a mental health ward for a time.
And how did you get involved with this place?
I joined Michigan Paranormal Encounters about 15 years ago. I had met Kathy Conder, who is the director and founder of the group. I was always intrigued by the place, and I just kind of developed a fascination with the paranormal. And then talking to Kathy, she decided to bring me in because as a science teacher, I'm naturally a skeptic, and I'm always looking for evidence. And that's one thing that I always tell my kids, can't support a claim without good evidence. So I came in as the resident skeptic.
What was your first experience that you've ever had here?
But I think the one that really cemented for me that this place is active, Kathy and I were here alone, we were the only two in the building, and I had a recorder running in the upstairs ballroom, which was the ceremony room when it was the Elks, and it was the main hospital bedroom when it was the hospital. And there were reports of a lot of children ghosts and activity up there. So I had a recorder running, and Kathy and I were in the basement. So we were 2 levels down. There was no one else in the building. And then when I was reviewing the recorder later, I heard, after 3 hours of silence, there was footsteps running through the room, children giggling, and then the door slamming. That experience to me really cemented the fact that this is an active place because I know there was nobody else in the building.
Now, what kind of experiences and things happen in this place?
There are reports of children spirits, as I said before. The basement is notorious for some not too nice characters, especially in the basement. A lot of women have reported their hair being touched or their bottoms being touched or smacked as they're walking around. We've had some cigar smells in the basement, and if you talk about playing cards or the mob or moonshine in the basement, activity tends to pick up a little bit. We've heard lots of voices, tapping, knocking, footsteps. One of the fun stories of this building is question of, is there somebody buried under the concrete in the basement? As we were taking tours through, people would notice that there was a rectangle on the concrete floor that was just a little bit different texture and color than the surrounding concrete, and it seemed to be about the perfect size for a body. So the urban legend kind of continued that, oh, there's somebody buried in the basement, and given the fact that Al Capone and his guys ran through here and stayed here and were seen here a lot, and Al Capone had property in the area, I think that story just kind of took off. And I know that, I'm not sure if it was the current owners or the previous owner, started kind of excavating down there because they wanted to see if there was any truth to that legend or not. So far, no reports of any bones or anything else.
What is something you hope I can capture here tonight?
I hope you have great interaction in the basement. We have a room that we lovingly refer to as the creepy room. There's a certain energy in the creepy room. And like I said, we've never experienced anything negative or harmful or nothing like that here. There are some spirits here that are very assertive, and they will let you know when you are in their space. And so I hope that there's a particular person that I hope you run into in the basement.
All right, guys, welcome back to this YouTube channel. My name is Connor, and on tonight's episode, we are exploring the Robinson Manor. And right now, we just got done doing our interview with Jody, who told me about some of the stuff that people experience here when it comes to the paranormal. And let me tell you, I did not know that there was mob activity that took place here with Al Capone, a famous American gangster. And where I'm standing at right now is the second floor. This room, this area is where Jody talked about in her interview where she had a voice recorder rolling up here when she was 2 floors down into the basement. And what sound like little kids running around in here, and the door behind me right here slammed shut. So it's kind of creepy. It's pretty ominous. Another experience she told me too off camera after the interview that she didn't mention during the interview was this room behind me right here is where the nurses would prepare meals. And out in this room standing in is where about 45 beds where all the patients would be at when this was tuberculosis hospital. The nurses would prepare food in that room and bring it out here and feed the patients. Well, she was in this room with about 10 people back in this corner right over there. And they had just taken out all the cabinets and stuff out of that room where the nurses prepare food. And they were standing in the corner, and all suddenly they started hearing what sounded like somebody rummaging through cabinets and shutting cabinets and moving around. And it was in that room, and there was no cabinets in there, which adds pretty much a lot more eeriness to this place. Now tonight I am here alone, and I put a poll on my YouTube channel like I promised my last premiere, where I asked you guys to vote to where what equipment I want to be using, and that I'll be exploring the basement. The basement of this location is really ominous. She just gave me a tour of the basement, and there's an area where they believe there could be possibly a body buried underground, and they haven't found it just yet. They haven't been able to prove that urban legend, but it is pretty eerie. The creepy room is where a lot of people have had experiences at, where she's had a lot of experiences at, and where we're going to spend quite a bit of our time during this investigation at down there as well. Oh God. If you guys haven't already, please hit that like button down below, and please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. Let's say we get around and start investigating. I'm going to show you guys around the place a little bit, and then we're going to go to the attic. The attic is where when Al Capone was here, his men would possibly have stayed at and had their own private little rooms. And it makes sense. It's pretty creepy, and I can't wait to show you guys that. All right, let's get into this and start walking around. All right, so like I said, this is like the room where patients would be at when this was a hospital. This is also the sanctuary room when the Elks Lodge was here in the 60s. This is another room in here too. Some old signage right here. If there's anybody here, my name is Connor, and I'll be exploring this place here tonight, and I'm hoping that you can come out and speak with me and have a conversation. I'm going to show you guys where Dr. Robinson, his office was at. It's right in this room right here. Right now, I think they use this room just for brides and stuff like that when they have weddings here. A small little room, though, for a big mansion. And now I'm going to show you guys the attic where Al Capone's men probably were at when they were getting treated from gunshot wounds or just probably hiding out. These are all original stairs too. Oh boy, it is freaking creepy up there. Glad you guys voted for me to be in the basement, not so much the attic, because the attic is creepy too. A little room right there. Small little doorway. This could possibly have been one of the rooms too. Let's go in here. Here's one of the rooms for sure that they think one of the mobsters would stay at. Just big enough for really a bed in here. And I think that possibly too that there was more rooms up here and that this area extended out because when they were doing renovations, there was like sort of a piece of wood that went over that room in there on the second floor. Okay, let's go down to the first floor. Now, this is the room too where they had like surgery and stuff at when this was a hospital. Used to be a wall right here. And this is where they would have surgery. And that was possibly a waiting room. In this room in here, they found a lot of artifacts. I think there were shelves or something on the wall. But this is stuff that they've actually found here inside the Robinson Manor. Old-time glasses. Powdered boric acid. It's kind of weird to see that that's what drugs used to look like too when they would put them in bottles and stuff. Laxative. That's cool. Old photos of this place over the years when it was an Elks Lodge. All right, now everybody's favorite. Let's go down to the basement. And the basement. It actually looks like there's a light on down there. There shouldn't be any light on down in the basement. I turned them all off. Well, that's strange. There's a light on down here. Okay. Just have to shut all the lights off. There we go. Lights are all off. Okay. This is the basement y'all voted for me to be down in. It's pretty damn big. If there's anybody down here, my name is Connor. I'm going to be here tonight to talk with you. This is where they used to have the morgue at. And the original piece that's left to the morgue is this soap holder right here. That's the only thing that's left. This basement does feel a little bit different. Definitely has a vibe to it. And I'm going to take you guys to the area that's known as the creepy room, where a lot of people have had paranormal experiences at when they come down to this basement. But first off, this area right here is where they think there could be a body, where the concrete is a little bit different. And so far they haven't found any evidence that there is any indication there's actually a body down here or whatever. But it is very different. Okay, this is the creepy room. Definitely has a vibe down in this room though. This is where we're going to spend a lot of time at when we come down here for our solo session in the basement for what you guys voted for me to go down into on the community posts. It's really one thing that's super strange about this basement though that Jody was talking to me about is that there's indication there was a fire down here. And this is the original hospital sign. And there's a fire right there. A fire indication right there on the door. It's charred. Also, this foundation is charred right here. It's charred on the brick. It's also charred on this foundation beam. And they have no idea why or when this actually happened, which is kind of strange how the brick is burned. Makes you wonder like what happened. Okay. And this, I think it might. I thought I heard something. Did I hit something? I didn't hit anything on the floor. That's weird. I don't know what that was. Hello? That's my foot. I'm just stepping by. I thought I heard something back here. Somebody down here? Somebody down here in the basement with me? Not sure if that was on audio or not. But to me and my own ears from hearing that, it sounded like a voice or a chime of some sort. I don't really know what that was. And this, I think it might. I thought I heard something. Did I hit something? I didn't hit anything on the floor. That's weird. I don't know what that. Hello? That's my foot. I'm just stepping by. I thought I heard something back here. Okay. Why don't we say we go get some equipment and head up to the attic where they believed some of the mob stayed at when they possibly have gotten injured or they were just here hiding out when the hospital was taken over for the second time. So we'll get some equipment and go up there. Okay, so what I brought up with me up into the attic, brought the epoch yes or no device. I also brought a voice recording up here. And we're gonna see if we can talk to any of the mobsters or anybody that possibly stayed up here when it was a hospital and try to figure out what exactly they use these rooms up here for. So the yes or no device, the epoch device, it's just simply a yes or no device. Yes is green, red means no. I've had some really, really amazing experiences with this device. If you watch the previous video to this video, I filmed at a place called the Alleged Demon House. at the Monroe house, and I had what seemed like a direct conversation with the spirit, answering this question, telling me what things it likes, things it doesn't like, and I've had nothing but great luck with this. So we're going to see if we can get it to work up here. So I'm going to set this on the chair right here and turn it on and ask the questions. My name is Connor, and I'm calling out to the spirits of the Robinson Manor. I'm here tonight just simply to get to know you and find out more about you and why you're here. I'm going to be bringing out some pieces of equipment tonight that will not hurt anybody. It's simply used as tools to help communicate with what we call the afterlife. I have a device right there on the chair. It lights up green for yes and red for no. I just want to have a conversation. Now, if you could tell me some things about yourself, I would greatly appreciate it. I just want to learn more about this hospital. Is there anybody up here in the attic with me right now? What about any of the mob? Al Capone? Did anybody use these rooms up here when they're being treated for any gunshot wounds or getting wounded or just to hide out? Was this attic used as that area? I'm also going to pull out a digital voice recorder here. We're going to set that on one of the chairs. All right, I have a voice recorder too over there in the chair that has an orange light. If you don't want to use that yes or no device, you can speak into that orange light and I can hear you. Were you part of the mob? Yes. Thank you for doing that. What is your name? Did you know Al Capone? What was that? Just heard a noise downstairs on the second floor. Did I just hear you? Are you still here with me? Hear that noise again. What is that? Is that you I'm hearing? Tell me this, okay? I'm not gonna rat you out. I ain't no rat. There any mobsters that were up here in the attic? Some footsteps there. Those are so faint though. I don't know if the audio on the camera is capturing that. Definitely doesn't sound like it's in the attic. It sounds like it's the floor below me. Should I go one floor down to the second floor? Light that up green if you think I should move down one more floor. I keep hearing noises down there. Light that up green if you think I should move down one more floor. I keep hearing noises down there. Why don't you light up that device green if you're in this room? Light that up red if you're in the other room by the stairs. They'll let me know where to go. Why don't you light up that device green if you're in this room? Light that up red if you're in the other room by the stairs. But let me know where to go. All right, we're going to grab this and move on to the second floor area where they had hospital beds. We're stopping the voice recording. We are going to run another voice recording session now that we are down here on the second floor where Jody experienced kids' footsteps running up here and then slamming this door behind me. So we are going to run another voice recording session real quick. We're going to set this down on this table right here. Set the camera down. Epoch is down right next to the voice recorder, stepping away, and I'm not moving anymore. Okay, I'm down here now on the second floor. I heard people running around down here when I was in the attic. It sounded a little weird. This is where Jody, I'm sure you know who that is, captured on audio like little kids running and then slamming a door. Are you still here? I have another voice recorder going down in this room. It's that little orange light that's over there on the table. If you can walk over there and speak into it, I can hear you. Can you tell me your name? I heard that this room was used for tuberculosis patients. The doors would be wide open. Did anybody pass away here? What about little kids? Were there any kids here? Maybe you're shy. My name is Connor. You can tell me your name. Is there anybody up here with me on this floor? Yes. Okay, thank you for doing that. Were you a patient here? Were you a nurse? Were you a doctor? Were you a mobster? Okay, I'm going to stop the voice recorder. There doesn't seem to be too much activity going on. I keep hearing noises, and I'm not 100% sure what that stuff is I keep hearing. A little crackling on the floor. Could be settling. The house is settling. The mansion is settling because it's cold outside. I'm not really sure. Now we are going to the basement. A lot of you guys have voted for me to go to the basement on the community posts, and you guys want me to do an EVP session down there. So we're going to do an EVP session down into the basement, and we're also going to bring all the equipment and go all out down here and see what we can capture. So this is really creepy down here. Thanks guys for voting for me to be in the basement. Every time I put a poll out, you guys always want me to do the basement. Okay. Find a spot to put our equipment down. Set the camera down right here. We're going to do an EVP session now down here in the basement. We're just going to stand still in this area over by the morgue and see what we can capture. If there's anybody down here in the basement, my name is Connor, and I'm here tonight just to communicate with you and figure out what happened here at the Manor, this hospital. I have a voice recorder in my hand and this orange light you can speak into. You can tell me your name. I heard a lot of people come down here and have experiences. And that there could be possibly a tunnel right there that went down to the Kalamazoo River during Prohibition, when you couldn't drink alcohol. Or maybe an area where the mobsters, when Al Capone came through here, would escape from if the law came here. Moving. Can you tell me your name? You can speak into this recorder right here. That's my stomach. I've heard a lot of people come down here and have paranormal experiences. Can you make a noise down here? Slam something? Throw something? Moving real quick. I heard that this area over here was the morgue. Is that true? Moving again. Stop the voice recorder. We'll review those voice recordings when I get home and see what hopefully was captured, if anything. Just because I don't have a lot of time here tonight. We've rented this place out for about 4 hours. So we're just trying to maximize our time that we do have. What we are going to do now is we're going to move to the creepy room. All right, so right now, as you guys voted, I am doing EVP sessions right now down here in the basement, where you guys have voted for me to spend my time alone down here in the basement doing a voice recording. We're going to spend some time in this creepy room trying to see if we can capture any voices. We're going to run 2 voice recorders at the same time over here and see what happens. What we're going to do is we're going to set one up right down here at this chair, right here, right next to the camera area. We're going to hit the record. We're also going to set another one up right here on this table. Here we go. Now that we're in this room, we're walking a little bit. We're going to move this chair. What I do have, though, in the doorway over here is the fan tune, which is basically a motion detector that can detect motion up to 2 meters, up to 7 meters away from it. It can't detect me from over here. Also, I have the REM pod in the hallway too. So hopefully, if somebody comes in this room, we can see it happen, as well as hopefully capture anyone's voice. Okay, spirits of the Robinson Manor, the Robinson Hospital. My name is Connor, and I'm in this room called the Creepy Room. A lot of people have had experiences in here, and I'm in this room to see what it's all about. I'm going to sit down. Now, if anybody's here, you can come in this room, and I will see you come in this room by those devices out in the hallway, the red light and the blue light. It'll just let me know you're walking in here or walking out. If you can set those off, I would greatly appreciate it. But more so, I have 2 voice recorders in here that have orange lights. One's on the table and one's over there on the other side of the table on the chair. If you can speak into those and tell me something about yourself, I would greatly appreciate it. My name is Connor. Can you tell me your name? I'm going to stand back up real quick here. Okay. Why do people call this the creepy room? What happened in this room? Is there anybody here? I see that there's like charred wood beams in here, support beams, and charred brick. Maybe you know something about that. Can you tell me what happened? Maybe you can come in this room with me and we can have a conversation. I have 2 different voice recordings you can speak into and tell me things about yourself. Were you a patient here? I heard that the mob was here too, like black cars appearing in the middle of the night, strange cars appearing at the night with men getting out, Al Capone. Do you know anything about Al Capone? I'm just curious though, like, I'm walking. I heard a lot of things about this hospital, and I'm curious to wonder what you thought about it. Was it a really nice place back then? Do you know any of the doctors? Maybe their names? Arms itching. Do you know any of the doctors? Maybe their names? Arms itching. You gonna come out here and speak with me tonight? I'm here just to get to know you and your story. If you're a mobster, I'm not gonna rat you out. I ain't gonna tell nobody you're here. All right, we're gonna stop the voice recordings. Voice recorder 1 stopping. Voice recording 2 is gonna stop. Now guys, what I am gonna do is, I don't normally at all use cat balls. A lot of debunkers on YouTube have debunked cat balls, saying that they go off randomly just to attract cats, or anything like that. Like they just say it's not used as something paranormal. A lot of these cat balls I own literally will not light up if they just sit there and sit there and sit there and do nothing. So I'm going to set them all up in this room though, and I'm going to stand completely still, and we're going to see if they can go off. We're not going to claim right off the bat that they're paranormal by any means. I believe that the paranormal spirits can use anything to communicate with you or what have you. And so we're just going to use these as tools, just simply to try to see if anything can correlate to it, or help back this up, that anything happens. So we're going to set these all up all over the room real quick. Now we have set up cat balls throughout this entire creepy room. We've also set up the fan tune, which is out in the hallway. If we hear a noise going off, somebody walk by the fan tune and is possibly coming this way or walking by it. We also got a REM pod out in the hallway right there. And we got a cat ball over here on the table, on the stairs right back there. We've got 3 coming into this doorway right here. So hopefully they go off one by one, indicating that somebody's coming in here. So hopefully it will help back up them going off. And we're also going to set up the epoch device right there. So hopefully we can capture anybody talking and answering yes or no questions. Okay. All right. My name is Connor. And if you haven't heard yet, I'm down here in the creepy room in the basement. I've set up devices all throughout this room that you can use to show your presence. I have a device here on this table that you can light up green for yes and red for no. Is there anybody down in this basement? Yes. Thank you for doing that. Now, can you please light up one of these cat balls? That was the air turning on. Now, can you please light up one of these cat balls or any of these other tools that are in this room and let me know that you're here to help back up that yes? Can you do that for me? You can make that fan tune, the blue light in the hallway, go off. I would greatly appreciate that. I'm going to set this camera down over here. Now, you just lit that up green and told me that there's somebody down here in the basement. Can you light up any of these other devices to help back up that yes? I just need some other validation. Show me you're here, please. I'm talking directly to you. Are you in this room with me? Something moved in this corner over here. Did I just hear you over here in the corner? Okay. I don't know what that was. None of these cat balls are going off. What we are going to do is we're going to pull out a device I never use ever anymore called Ghost Tube. Again, we're just using Ghost Tube as a tool to help try to back up anything. I know it's an app. A lot of people don't like it, but I'm just going to use it just to try to see if there's anything else that can happen because not much is happening right now. All right, spirits, I also have this device in my hand that you can use to tell me words. Can you tell me your name? Also, we're not going to say that anything that comes through this device is paranormal unless it hopefully correlates with anything else happening in this room. We're going to set this down on the table. Is there anybody here? You said that that there's a spirit down here in this basement. And right now, I don't know if that was environmental noise on this device or if you really are down here. No. It wasn't environmental noise. Thank you for using that. Do you like it that I'm down here in the basement? Do you like talking to me? None of these cat balls have gone off, guys, since I've been standing here. None of them are randomly going off. I've been moving around too, and they're not going off by me walking at all. I saw a shadow. And that's just the trick of my eyes. There's a light on my body camera, and I thought I was pretty much standing still, and I felt like I saw a shadow over here on my left side go from over this way somewhere. Did I see a shadow? I saw that out of the corner of my eye. If I just saw you from my body camera light, can you light that up green for yes or red for no? Red, I guess I was just imagining things. Could have been too how I was. Yes, I did see a shadow. Thank you for doing that. Was that you I saw? I don't know where it would be at if I cast a shadow. I would have had to have walked from my left side, I feel like, I guess. Was that shadow I saw, was that you? No? No. Wow. That's a long no. The longer a light is held down, the most likely is something paranormal. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. Is that one of the bad spirits, I guess, that are down here that I just saw? Fortunately, I got no proof, too, that I saw a shadow because my body camera is facing this way, and this night vision camera shoots the night vision, so it doesn't really see shadows. So at this point, it's all hearsay. Can you light up one of these devices if you're the one I saw, please? Just saw a shadow against this door here in the creepy room. I'm setting the voice recorder down on the ground right where I saw it at area and see if we can capture any voices. Okay, I'm standing still and there's a voice recorder now down the ground. Okay, I just was told that I saw someone across the wall that wasn't the spirit that I've clearly been speaking with on this epoch. Can that entity tell me? I just felt my leg just get pulled right now. My pant leg just got pulled. My God, that just gave me chills on my body. Did you just touch my leg and my pants? She did say, too, that people that come down here get touched. She mentioned that in her interview, but it's mostly for women. Are you the one that's touching people down here in the basement? Thank you for doing that. Okay, so I guess you must have touched me then, obviously, because my leg felt like down here, my pant leg down here got tugged down or something. Thank you for lighting that up. I appreciate you telling me that. Can you do me a favor and speak into that orange light that's over here on the floor and tell me your name? I just want to know who you are. Do you like touching people down here, I guess? Is that a way for you to get their attention? Do you want me to leave a camera rolling down here and leave you alone in the basement and you can play with all this stuff? Yes. Talk about an instant response. Thank you for doing that. Okay, maybe I will then. Maybe I'll leave a camera rolling in here. Okay. All right, we'll do that then. All right. So right now we've got a whole table full of equipment.
For the next 10 minutes, I would move throughout the floor of the ballroom, attempting different things. For the remainder of this time, none of the equipment would further go off, and I didn't hear any more footsteps. I then moved to the attic to attempt one final EVP session.
Goes off while we're gone. Hopefully it does. And we also got some cat balls around the table as well, and a voice recorder. So we're going to set up another voice recorder right outside the room out here, and hopefully we pick up some EVPs while we're leaving this place abandoned. Now, this is something that my friends on Paranormal Quest does, that they call abandonment. So I don't know what we're going to call this. This is just some one-off thing that we've done right now. It suggests that I do this. So shout out to Paranormal Quest for doing abandonment on their YouTube channel, where they leave cameras rolling in haunted places with equipment with no one in the building. And we're going to do the same here for a little bit. and hopefully some of this stuff goes off or something works. I don't know. We're going to find out. So anyways, this camera's rolling. We've got this going. We're going to turn on the fan tune. We're going to put on an EVP session out there in the hallway and get out of this building. Fan tune just turned on. Takes about 12 seconds to calibrate. Now for the other voice recorder that we have right here, we're going to set this one up right here. Now we're going to leave the basement and hopefully we capture something on the camera.
I would leave this camera rolling for 30 minutes in the basement, hoping for something odd to happen. Unfortunately, other than hearing some noises that sounded like the manor was settling due to the cold outside, nothing happened. I then decided to move my investigation back to the second floor ballroom.
Now I'm in this room again, right where we first started off our investigation here tonight. I'm on the second floor where they had all the patient beds when this was a tuberculosis hospital and where the patients were at. About 45 beds were in this room. Jody had experiences up here, and we're going to try ourselves as well to see if we can have an experience up here. I'll set this camera down and pull out some equipment. Oh, REM pod. Is that you making that go off over there? Can you step away from that? Is that you making the REM pod go off? I can't tell if that's paranormal. If you're one making that REM pod go off, please step away. Oh my gosh. What? Oh, and the cat ball's going off down here. I don't know if that's from my movement of my foot. And the REM pod stops. Nope. Do you like the REM pod? In the middle of setting this stuff up, and the REM pod goes like crazy. Thank you for doing that. That wasn't expected. I did not expect that to happen. Maybe we should pull the epoch device back out. Epoch device is set up. Definitely not me making the REM pod go off. Cat ball's not going off either. I don't know if I caught that cat ball going off either. But it's not going off in my footsteps. That's very interesting. Okay. Do you like the REM pod? Were you the one that just made the REM pod go off? Can you light that epoch device up on the ground right there? Green for yes, red for no if that wasn't you. What I might do is actually put this camera down. Yes, green for yes. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. I see that you like the REM pod. Are you a child? If you're a child spirit or someone that just likes to use the equipment up here, I've got plastic clear balls all in this room that we call cat balls. They just light up different colors if you touch them. I've also got a blue light right there that makes a tune, a musical sound if you touch it. You'll let me know that you're in here as well, including obviously the REM pod you've been using. It's kind of hard to film. It's kind of hard to film this room when I've got stuff spread so far apart right now. Are you still up here on this floor with me? Can you let me know? I am going to try to set this camera down though. Okay. Were you a patient here? I just heard footsteps behind me. I just heard footsteps behind me. Did I just hear your footsteps? So one of the mobsters behind me? Where'd you go? You're awfully quiet now. Were you the one that pulled my pant leg? No. Thank you for using that. Okay. There is walking. I'm standing completely still and I just heard walking on wood floors. There is walking. Did I just hear your footsteps? Did I hear you walking on the wood? Not sure if you're coming in this room, but if that's you I just heard over there in the corner. You can make this cap all go off. One of these, please. No. Oh my, that's a long no. Okay. You don't want to make the cap all go off. Okay then. What about making this REM pod go off? Can you do that? Do you want me to leave? Is the mob hiding out here right now?
For the next 10 minutes, I would move throughout the floor of the ballroom, attempting different things. For the remainder of this time, none of the equipment would further go off, and I didn't hear any more footsteps. I then moved to the attic to attempt one final EVP session.
Alright, so we're back up in the attic. This is a room that they believe there was mobsters up here. When Al Capone came through this town, when they were seeing black cars in the middle of the night, leaving suspicious men here. And they think that this is one of the rooms where they were being taken care of or maybe hid out here, maybe till the heat from the cops was down a little bit. We're going to do an EVP session up here for a few moments and see if we can try to capture any voices or figure out maybe who was up here. We're going to start that right now. I was here earlier and I didn't spend so much time up here, but I want to see if we can try to communicate with any of the mobsters if they stayed up here. Maybe you can tell me about what it's like to be in the mob. I'm not going to tell anybody that you're up here. My name is Connor. Can you tell me your name? Was this your room I'm standing in right now? How many spirits are in this manor? What's it like working for Al Capone? Did anybody get shot? Do you like what the owners have done with this hospital? Is there anything you want to tell me? All right, stopping the voice recording. It seems like this place was a little bit more quiet tonight during my investigation here at the Robinson Manor, but that's just how the paranormal works. The paranormal is not going to be active at every location you go to, but if you guys have been enjoying this video, make sure you hit that like button down below. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel so that you can keep up and follow all of my paranormal investigations throughout all the spooky places I go to throughout the entire country. I really appreciate you if you made it all the way to the end of this video. Again, please hit that like button down below. If you don't know this, we have channel members. You can click that blue join button down below. All of that will give you behind the scenes pictures, videos, and all kinds of cool things about all the places I go to that not everybody gets to see in the public. And we also have a Patreon page where you can help also support me that way as well. All of that goes back into the videos and helps me book locations and travel to more spooky places, bringing you more spooky videos. I just want to say I appreciate every single one of you guys. And I'm going to get out of here. And I will see you guys next Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern for an all-new Paranormal Encounters episode. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.